So for now, you know what this discover window is. This is basically the place where all this pre-packaged content are there. Okay. Next, you have all the pre-packaged content here. Okay. So under discover, you have 530, which means there are almost 530 packages that are available to you. Okay. So these I call it packages. Packages. Why I will tell you I call it packages. So first is the package name. So this is the package name, and under that you have the description. Okay. So this particular package, it says SAP CPQ 2.0 integration with SAP billing and revenue innovation management. So basically, this is a package that contains iFlows that are connecting the CPQ and revenue innovation management system. Okay, and this is the description for it. Integration suite for integrating integration between CPQ and SAP billing and revenue innovation management on premise. So this is a short level description. Next you have here published, when it was published. Okay, so and then you have the version, then you have the vendor. Okay, so these are all the things you see on the main screen itself. Okay, I go inside.
So this
Hmm.
published by SAP team now.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so I go here now. Now you see under discover integrations, we are inside this package. So this first line is basically your navigation screen. Okay, so you see here everything is hyperlinked. Okay, so if I click on this, I go back to integration discover again. So I can click on this directly, this discover integrations also. This will also take me to the same window basically. So now I'm going inside the package. Okay, I want to go back to my discover screen. So either I can click on this or I can go to my integrations discover window from here as well. Both will do the same thing basically. Okay, now I'm going to my discover again. So first thing is the navigation. Next is the package name. Okay, why we call it package is because inside this package we have multiple artifacts. The artifacts in the sense these are the integration flows or I flows I call it. We use to do our development, our connections and everything. Okay, so 10 artifacts are packaged inside this particular object. So that's why we call it package. Okay, so this PIPO folks also you will have I think you will know about these packages, right? So packages are basically objects that are holding multiple other objects which are bundled together inside this one object. That's why we call it package. Okay. So this was the same description you saw in the previous window as well. So it basically tells like what two applications it is integrating with. Okay. Next you have vendor SAP. Okay. All vendors that are showing as SAP, it's free to use. Okay. But sometimes if the vendor is Allied Solutions or like something else, like not just Allied Solution, any XYZ vendor, okay, they will be not free to use. Like you need to pay and use. Okay. So only if vendor is SAP, it will be free for you. Otherwise, you need to pay and use. Okay. So how to pay and all that project will take care. Okay. They will basically get in touch with the SAP, get their contacts, and they will do the payment and all that. But that is how it works. Okay. For
Project.
SAP vendors, we don't have to pay anything. For other vendors, we need to pay and use. But there are some ways to bifurcate that also. Okay. That also I will tell you. Okay. Now, yeah, we spoke about package, we spoke about vendor, we spoke about description. Next is your version. Okay. So version we see as 1.0.6. So basically, the first time when you build something, it will be 1.0.0. Okay. So how this versioning works is this is for minute or minor enhancements. Okay, this is for more than that. Not very minor, not very major. in between, if there are some enhancements, then it this is this object, this digit basically denotes that if you are doing any major enhancements or major design changes to the interface, this is the digit that denotes. Okay, suppose you have an interface, okay, and you are just adding a mapping to one of the fields in the interface. Inside the mapping, you're just adding one field. Okay, that is a very minor enhancement. Okay, so when you do that change to your existing object, it will be 1.0.1. Okay. Now let's say that you are already sending some data to a system. From system A, it's going to system B through this iFlow. Okay. They are saying that in addition to system B, you need to send it to system C also. Okay. So now basically what you're doing is the functionality is already there. You are just adding a new system here. Okay. So that is kind of like not too major, not too minor. Okay. Then it will be like 1.1.0. If you're building something on top of this itself, it will be 1.1.1. So already you have done some minor enhancement. Now you are doing some a little bit major enhancement. You are adding a new system. So that's why you are incrementing the number here. Okay. And then this is already incremented as part of that minor enhancement. But without this minor enhancement, if you're doing, this is 1.1.0. Okay. Now if you are let's say that 1.0.0, okay, you have built something. Okay, now the client wants to change the entire design itself of the interface. He wants to change the mapping, he wants to change how the way you process the message, everything he wants to change. That's kind of like a major enhancement. You are touching your object and you are basically redesigning everything, right? That will be like 2.0.0. See, this is how versioning works. Okay, but in a project, what will happen? Whatever change we do, right? 1.0.0, 1.0.1, 1.0.2. This is how people do generally, and no one is going to validate or anything. Okay. This is just like general Indian practice, or not just India, whole world for that matter. But just understand that this is the proper way to do it. Okay. So when these things will be validated is when you are working for a project with the SAP and you're building something like this, which will go as a standard integration, then like they will check all these in your project, which you are working like for Infosys or Wipro or TCS or like any vendor for that matter. Nobody is going to validate or anything. Your architect will not validate these things. Simply like you can version your object, like you are doing some development, it's 1.0.0. Okay, and then you have made some change to the object. Okay, you can put 1.0.1. Why we have this versioning is, suppose you want to revert back to this 1.0.0, you can do that. That's why you are basically versioning the objects. You are creating different versions of the objects so that you can either roll back or travel forward. So something like that. It's just a flexibility. Okay, that is why you have this SAP version, and that is what each digit represents: minor, major, or slightly major or slightly more than minor, something like that. Understood?
So this version is latest version upgrade. Like previously, maybe possibly it was 1.0.5.
Yes,
Now it's
correct.
showing 1.0.6. So the previously
Yes.
5 number version upgraded also available in this thing.
Yeah, it will be available. It will be available in
And
the. So basically, inside documents, these things are not, I will tell you. So there is this change log. Okay. So this change log will basically talk about what change was made as 1.0.6. So you see here, every version, like whatever they have created, they would have detailed it out here in the document, like what they have done, why they have done, everything they would have detailed out in the document. And those previous versions also will be available to you in the application. Okay, but for standard content, we usually don't use those previous versions because these are tested and these have been released to outside world 1.0.6. So this previous version might have had some bug. That is why they have released 1.0.6. So in standard content, we don't usually downgrade versions and use them. It's always suggested to use the latest version. But what was there as part of 1.0.5, you can see in this document. Okay, I will show you step by step when I'm coming to the document section. I will explain you like why they are using this document and all. But yeah, I think I answered your question. right?
So we need to ask to client about for the version name. Yeah, we directly go with
No,
the
no, no, no.
CPI.
We don't have to ask anything. Like whatever
Okay.
latest version is available, we can simply use it. That's all.
Okay. Got
So latest version means latest functionalities, bug fixes, everything will be there, right? So whatever integration latest version is available, you don't have to see the version and all. Straight away, you can just use it and plug and play. I'm just
it. Got
explaining you like what this version means, how they are versioning it. So that part only I was explaining you. Yeah, otherwise you can simply use it. Okay. Next is you have this mode. There are two types in mode. One is configure only. Second is editable. There are two types. Okay. Editable in the sense like you can use this flow in your CPI tenant. Okay. And you can change something you want in the inside the flow. So that option will be there to like you want to add some functionality or you want to remove something as per your requirement. If you want to change something, you can go ahead and edit the iFlow after you copy the iFlow or copy the package. Okay. But in a configure only scenario, there will not be an option for you to edit or like do anything with iFlow. Simply you can copy it and you can connect it to your systems and use whatever functionalities are there. That's all. Okay. That's the difference between an editable package and a configurable package. In a configurable package, you will never be able to edit or make changes on your own for any of the iFlows or package. But for an editable package, you can copy the package and you can do some changes and as per your business requirements in your tenant. Okay. Last
how
is
to
it
do
says, huh,
how to do edit your copy process.
I will show you. I will show you.
Okay.
Now just understand that what are the different modes available and what it basically means. Okay. Last is your published on. So published on is basically the latest date when it was the update latest version was published. So they have published something yesterday, right? 6th of April. That's why I was showing 1 day ago. So yeah, that published date will automatically come here. Okay. Next is you have this copy. Okay. So how can you use this integration from your Discover window into your tenant? Okay. So this is the option. So if I click on copy, okay, it says package copy. Now I go to my design integrations. That package will be here. So the design I told you, right? So this is where you do all the development and etc. etc. This is just like pre-packaged template. Okay. So this template you are basically copying into your design window. Okay. This is where you go and do all the editings or you connect to your systems. You do your actual development here only inside this design window. So Discover is just a template for you to copy and use. Okay. So if it is an editable flow, this is where you come and edit. So see here you have this edit option. You did not have that in Discover window. So there you had only copy option, which means that you can just copy that scenario from Discover, but you cannot do any editing or configure in the Discover window. That is a global window. That is just there for you to see all the global content and copy into your tenant. But you cannot do any
Raghav,
edit. Yeah.
complete package will be copied, not singly iFlow.
Yeah, yeah. Complete package will be copied. So basically it's like this. First, there needs to be a package. Inside that only you can have your iFlow or other artifacts. So standalone, you cannot put some artifacts in your design window just like that. You need to have
Okay.
some package which will hold all your other
Yeah,
artifacts.
got it. Otherwise, it will not allow me to.
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
okay.
Basically, if I go to my design window itself, I can create a package only. I cannot create a no artifact directly. So this will directly create a new package. Inside that package, I can have artifacts.
Got
So
it.
same concept here also. So standalone artifacts will not be there. Rather packages will be there. You can copy the package, and after copying the package, if you feel that you don't want all the artifacts, then you can either delete it, or you don't have to deploy it at all. It will simply be there. So these things are there.
Okay, got it.
So like, yeah, now you got the concept, right? Like from Discover, you need to copy and use it in your design. Directly, you cannot do anything on the Discover itself. Okay. So notice one thing. So I copied this CPQ integration. Okay. It was a editable iFlow, right? So I have this edit option here. Okay. But imagine this other option I was talking about, configure only. Okay. Let's try to find out some configure only iFlow. So for that, you need to check the mode here. Okay, cool. This one is configure only. Okay, I copy this. So if I copy, this will come into my design window now. I can use this Azure adapter for SAP integration suite. Okay, go ahead and search here Azure adapter. So it's there in my tenant now. Okay, so basically, I will not be able to edit anything in this iFlow. Okay, I can only configure it. Okay, like this is an adapter. Let me show you an actual package itself. See, it's not allowing me to go inside the iFlow itself. I can only click on and like either deploy or I can configure. Let me show you a package instead of an adapter. Mm, let's try this e-filing one. Okay, this is editable. SAP Service Cloud integration with SAP Field Management. This is also editable. Okay. Okay, let me try this. This is configurable. Okay, now I'm copying this package. Let's go to design window. Okay, this is the package. In mode, it says configure only. Basically, I will not, or I should not edit anything in this iFlow. Okay, I should only configure. That's the idea. Okay, see here, edit option is not even available for me here. Although on the package level, it's available. Okay, but inside your iFlow, that edit option will not even be there. You will only be able to configure something. So let's say that you are using this standard package in your project. Okay, basically the functional consultant itself will tell you. So CPI is not like PIPO. Okay, so the functional consultants will be aware that such solutions are globally available and all. So they will tell you like go ahead and use the standard package like that. Okay, so if it is a configure only package, then you will not be able to do any enhancement or development or anything. Simply whatever SAP has given, you can use it and you can connect to your S4HANA system and your SuccessFactors system in this case, or your system A and system B. That's all. You just need to connect to the system, username, password, URL, and everything you will give, and you will connect to those systems. But it will go through whatever SAP has built. You will not be able to edit or do anything with the particular package, configure only packages. See, if I click on edit, it tells me that this package is not editable as it is configure only. Got the point, right? You won't even have that access to edit anything here. You can only copy it and you can configure it. But rather, for an editable iFlow, that will not be the case. You can do your own editing and all that. But there is a disadvantage in that also that I will tell you later.
Raghav, this editable or configure we can see in the package level or the iFlow level.
Both you can see. So in package level, if you see an edit option, you can add or remove something inside the package. So in package, there can be multiple
Okay.
things, iFlows and many things. So this edit is for that. In an iFlow level, if you see edit option, it means that you are actually editing something inside your iFlow. So that is also possible, right?
Okay, one more doubt. Like if you say configure only, we cannot do anything, right? Modifications.
Mm.
So in
Mm.
that case, how what data we need to pass and how the data sets, how can we come to know even that we can able to view at least?
Yeah, you can view all that in monitoring window. So once you connect your system A and system B, okay,
Uh,
and you will deploy, okay, all these terms I'm telling deploy and then iFlow and all, like don't worry, like you will slowly get familiarized to it, okay. So once you
oh,
deploy it, you can actually monitor in this window, like what is going through that integration step by step. You can see like what data is going, all those things you can see it here.
okay.
So
The
Raghav,
only thing is, yeah.
basically, in this we will get some standard structure to fill the data. Means how technically we can relate, because I am not
uh,
from PI system. So
No
once you're
problem.
saying
Mm.
artifact is like created and it will be a standard and no